Hello and welcome to all of you for today's lecture. As last time I have said that we have to look at the empirical rules for the calculation of lambda max in various chromophoric groups. The first chromophore is diene chromophore. The basic compound is 1,3-butadiene, and if the diene is acyclic or heteroannular diene, the basic lambda max is 215. If it is homoannular diene, it is 254. We will come to all those things immediately, and certain increments are given. If pi bond is having extended conjugation with the basic diene chromophore, then plus 30 for each double bond in conjugation. If 1 is there, 30, if 2 are there, 60, if 3 are there, 90, and so on. Ring residue or the alkyl group plus 5 each, exocyclic double bond plus 5 each, acetoxy group no increment, alkoxy plus 6, CLBr plus 5, and NR2 plus 60. These are the increments values. Now let us look at the example and the meaning of homo, hetero, everything we have to see. So the first example, either you can take this double bond and this double bond as a diene, or these two as a diene. Now this is an example of heteroannular diene. Hetero is different, annual means ring. If two pi bonds are in conjugation but they are not the part of same ring, then they are known as heteroannular diene. So this is heteroannular diene. Let us say this is heteroannular diene. This is going to be extra double bond in conjugation or extended conjugation, you can say. So I will just put it on the top of this. Let us say this is heteroannular diene. And this is extended conjugation. So heteroannular diene is 215, extended conjugation is plus 30. Okay, these two values. Then you have to mark the alkyl groups. Now these double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, this is the part of your diene chromophore, but these carbons which are directly attached to the pi bond but they are not the part of your diene chromophore, they have to be counted. So how many are there? 3. So 15 for 3 alkyl groups or 3 ring residues, you can say. This is extended conjugation, this is basic lambda max. Okay. Now the exocyclic double bonds. How many double bonds are exocyclic? Exocyclic means outside the ring. So if I show it with the paper, let me put paper. If I close it like this, you can see that this is outside the ring, so exocyclic to ring. If I close this part, this double bond is exocyclic to A ring, this double bond is exocyclic to B ring. So let us designate the letters A and B. So this pi bond is exo to ring A, this is exo to ring B. So two double bonds in exocyclic bonds, and this is going to be lambda max calculated. So that is going to be 260 to 70 nanometers. Okay. This is one example. Now let us go to the other example. We will see the other part, like we have seen heteroannular, extended conjugation, exocyclic. Now let us look at the second example. Now second example is slightly different. generally not asked in BSc, but for practice it is very good example. So I can consider this as heteroannular diene 1, 2, 3. So 215, this is heteroannular diene, basic lambda max for it, and then 3 double bonds in conjugation, 3 pi bonds extending conjugation. Okay. So 90, then exocyclic bonds. Let me put the numbers like some. This is exo to ring A, this is exo to ring B, but the central is exo to both. So this is taken as 2, this is taken as 1, this is taken as 1. I am talking about exocyclic bonds. So how many are there? The central bond is exocyclic to A and B ring. The top is exocyclic to A ring and the lower one is exocyclic to B ring. So in all 4. So 20, let me put it slightly beneath, 4 exocyclic pi bonds. Okay. Then what is left? The alkyl groups or the ring residues. How many are there? This is 1, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, this is 4th. Remember that you can't consider the sigma bond, which is a part of your extended conjugation. So double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. So this is the entire chain, that is the entire diene system or Pauling system, and these are the carbons which are not the part of system, but they are directly attached to it. So there are 4 ring residues. So 20, 4 ring residues or alkyl substituents, ring substituent or ring residues you can say, and then you have to do the summation, that's all. Okay. Now moving on to the third example. Now see, this double bond I can draw it here also, there is no problem because the meaning is same. So let it be here. So these 2 double bonds are the part of same ring system. So this becomes homoannular diene. Homoannular diene. So basic lambda max is 254 nanometers. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3, this is going to be extended conjugation. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 alkyl substituents. Exocyclic, none. I am talking about exocyclic. Exocyclic means it should be at the ring junction, then only it will be exocyclic. Say this is exocyclic, this is exocyclic, this is not. That is the meaning of it. And then lambda max calculated. Okay. Then coming to the 4th example, I am putting the alkyl substituents first. Okay, there are 4 alkyl substituents. This is homodiene because these 2 double bonds are part of the same ring. Let me designate the rings as ABC. So this is exocyclic to A, this is exocyclic to C, right? So 2 exocyclic bonds. This is extended conjugation because that is additional bond which is in conjugation. So that is 30. Extended conjugation we can say, and then 4 alkyl substituents, that is 20. 4 ring residues or alkyl substituents, anything you can say. So this is lambda max calculated. So these are some of the things like homoannular, heteroannular, and you have to calculate the values. So this is like you have to understand all these values will be supplied in exam in case if the written exam takes place. If it is theoretical online exam, then only the basic questions would be asked and so on. Okay. Now moving on to the second chromophoric group, that is the enone chromophore. We'll see the values and few illustrative examples, and maybe in next lecture we'll see the applications of UV spectroscopy, and then once we are done with that, then we have to move to the second topic, that is infrared spectroscopy. So enone chromophore. Enone, the name suggests that it is comprising of double bond as well as carbonyl group. So let me put some arbitrary example here. X is equal to H, X is equal to R, aldehyde and ketone. If X is equal to H, that is aldehyde, X is equal to R, that is ketone, and then these are the relative positions, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. So 6-membered or acyclic ketone, basic lambda max is 215. Aldehyde is 207 nanometers. 5-membered ketone making enone, that is 202. Okay. These are basic lambda max values. Now going to the increments. 30 extended conjugation, 39 homo diene component. We'll see all these things when with the example. Plus 5, आपको these are increments में they are all exocyclic pi bond. Then alkyl group, alpha, beta, gamma, delta and higher. Now this is 10, 12, 18, 18 and even higher is also 18. Then certain groups which are given there, OH, OR, I am going to put it like this so it will be easy, Cl, Pr, Nr2 and OCOCH3. OCOCH3 is plus 6. This is beta is 95, alpha, gamma is not there, Br is 25, let me put it like this, 30, 25, 15, 12, 12, 35, 30 and 17, 35, 30 and 30. These are the increments. Now we'll see some examples wherein you can apply these things and find out the values. Of course, once we are done with the UV and then IR, then combined problems on UV and IR is also there. So now some illustrative examples for this. Maybe 2-3 examples we'll have today. Let us say this is the example. Now the first foremost thing is you have to mark alpha, beta, gamma, delta, that is essential here. Aldehyde, so basic lambda max is 207 irrespective of anything. Then this is one substituent, this is second substituent, this is third. So alpha is plus 10, beta is 12, gamma is delta is 18. These are the increments. This is the basic chromophore, the carbonyl and double bond. This is extended conjugation. This is extended conjugation, I would say. Two double bonds are part of the same ring, so that is homodiene component, homoannular diene component to be precise. There is no exocyclic because the bonds are endocyclic rather, so no exocyclic question doesn't arise, and then you have to do the summation, that is 316 something it comes out. Okay, so this is lambda max calculated. Now let us see second example. Let me put it here. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Okay, alpha 1, beta 1, gamma 1, delta 1. So 2 1 5 because this is 6 membered ketone. Alpha 1, beta 1, delta gamma and delta 18 each. Extended conjugation 1, this is extended conjugation. Homodiene component is not there because they are different part of the like they are present in different rings. Exo, this let me put as A and B ring, exo to ring B. Exo means outside, so if I cover this, this is exo to ring. Similarly, this is exo to ring A. So 2 exocyclic pi bonds and that's all. Okay, then you have to put lambda max calculated and whatever augmented value you have to put it. Okay. Now before we close, I will put 1 or 2 examples so that you can practice at home, and maybe next time we will have more examples on this topic. Both even we will have few examples on the acyl benzene chromophore also in the next lecture, and some application part of the UV spectroscopy, and finally the examples which are based on it. So another example, this is the example. Now this is 202 basic lambda max because it is 5 membered ketone. Alpha beta, alpha 1 substituent, beta 2 substituent. Okay, beta carbon, so the substituent attached to this. So this is alpha 2 betas I will put. Then exocyclic, let me put A and B ring. This central bond is exocyclic to both the ring. Exocyclic means if I put it like this, is exo to A ring. If I put it this way, it is exo to B ring. So 2 exocyclic pi bonds you can say, and that's all. So that becomes 246 nanometers. So now before we close, some examples you can practice them. They are simple examples. This is one. This couple of examples you can solve for practice purpose. Maybe next lecture will continue from here. Now henceforth all lectures will have the numericals, so you have to be attentive, and only practice can help you out. If the written exams take place, then this kind of examples would be definitely there, and otherwise also the point of distinction between two compounds, say one is homoannular, the other one is heteroannular, you can easily distinguish them on the basis of UV spectroscopy. Conjugated, non-conjugated can be distinguished, and so on. So application part is there, even impurities you can detect, and so on. So next lecture will have more examples on both the chromophores, and of course some examples on acyl benzene chromophore also will do, so that nothing will be left from this. The application part also will try to cover in the next lecture, if not the immediate lecture. And once we are done with this, then we have to move to the IR spectroscopy, the application part. Then UV-IR combined problems are there. After that proton NMR, and then simple proton NMR examples, and UV-IR NMR combined problems. So lot of problems are to be solved in this spectroscopy part, and that's why spectroscopy is like mathematics. Once you understand, it is very easy and highly scoring subject. Thank you for your patience hearing in today's lecture. We'll continue in the same manner next time. Thank you.